All right, DBN, welcome to another episode of the right side of Kentucky sports. It is Tuesday, February the 10th, and the Cats are coming off of another 2-0 week. They beat Oklahoma on Wednesday, and on Saturday, they pull out the brooms and sweep the Vols right up out of Rupp Arena. Another double-digit comeback win. How many times is this team going to do this?
Every game.
Every game?
Every big game.
I think it is going to be every game. We'll get into the games and stuff. I want to give a shout out before we start to Mark Pope, the guy that so many Kentucky fans wrote off in December. The same guy that so many fans in December were saying he's not the guy. Terrible hire. The same guy for the second year in a row has dealt with multiple injuries, multiple revamps of the offense, the defense, the lineups. And not only has he turned around a season that a lot of Kentucky fans thought was basically a wasted season. Dude, we've won 8 of 9. We're in second place in the SEC. We're pretty much locked into the NCAA tournament, I'd say, unless something crazy happens. If something really crazy happens in these last 7 or 8 games, we could be like a 3 or 4 seed. Do you agree?
I totally agree.
We got 7 games left. Mm-hmm. If we went 5-2,
win a couple in the SEC
6-1, dude, we could end up like a 3, 4. I know I'm kind of reaching here.
I don't think you are, because
I'm just saying.
I think the little group that does that, I think they've talked about how the end of the season, the way you finish matters. Mm-hmm. So we would definitely be a hot team at that point.
But look, we're playing our best ball right now in February. This is when you want your team playing at their best, not in December. You want them finding who they are in February, and that's what Kentucky's doing. I feel like we're finding an identity. We've talked about it the last week or so. Gritty team, defensive, physical, in-your-face type of team. They're playing together, and they're figuring out how to win games. Shout out to Mark Pope. And a real quick shout out to all the haters and all of those, whatever percentage of Kentucky fans that was calling for his head. And it was, look, I'm not getting a gauge of the whole fan base, but
there was a lot.
From what I'm seeing, comments on posts, on our podcast, on the TikTok lives that I'm doing, a lot of people were calling for his head.
Now they love him again.
And saying he wasn't the guy. Look, there's still a chance that maybe he's not in the long run, but we have got to give this guy some credit for the coaching that he's doing. I mean, we've talked about the roster. The whole Kentucky fan base has talked about this roster.
Yeah. But like you say, you got to reevaluate. Like, it's I understand the frustration. It's a $23 million team, and that's double what everybody else has. And I understand that frustration. I have that same frustration, but I'm past that. Like,
frustration is a little different than just saying, let's fire this dude.
I had to get past it because we don't have one of those teams. But we are getting better. I think we're good. I have my theory of why I think we're good. I have my theory of why I think we are, everybody says we're a second half team. I don't think it's it. I think I figured this out. I do. I think we're going to look back in a month from now, and I think people are going to say that the reason this Kentucky team's good, I think they wear people out. I think our main guys or just have really athletic builds. They don't carry a lot of besides Marino, don't carry a lot of body fat. Aberdeen, Oweh, Diabate, Garrison, even Chandler. These dudes are in really good shape. I mean, look at them. They're thin but muscular. They're all like athletes, like long, athletic, strong-looking, leaner but strong-looking athletes. And I think it just comes to that they wear them out. Tennessee was sucking wind at the end of that game, and I was kind of looking for it, and that's what happened. So maybe, and my theory is maybe we're just not playing bad in the first half, but by the second half, some of these teams are, don't have as much energy like most teams do, and maybe our dudes are just getting started. I just think maybe we have more stamina than the other teams. And when you really look at our lineup, dude, they're a team full of athletes, whether they're good shooters or not. We know we're not the best shooting team, but we got some guys that are really in good shape, I think. And I think there's a reason he's playing the Croatian in the first half. I think that might be a stamina thing. So I think Pope's maybe understood this team before anybody else. And that's the angle he's playing off from, being gritty, being defensive, and really just trying to tire teams out.
I think what helps us too, I think what kind of turned a lot of people, the fan base, off at the beginning was when we were losing. Man, Pope's body language was really bad.
He's talked about that, though. He talked about that before he ever got here. He says, I don't deal with losing well.
And I think that turned the fans, not turned them off, but it was something that I noticed. If it was happening during the games when they were losing, it's like, he just looks confused, like he don't know what he's doing.
It always looks that way when you're losing.
Right. And I think he's figured it out. And I think the whole team has become a reflection of Pope, showing a little more confidence, a little more camaraderie, too, with this team. I think they're starting to get along. I think the game has really slowed down for Aberdeen. I wasn't a huge fan at first, but I don't know if the game slowed down or he's kind of figuring out Pope's offense, but I really like the way that kid's been playing. I've said some bad things to you guys about him before.
He's trying to learn how to play a new position. I mean,
right.
At a very high level, too, with a lot of pressure. So I love what Aberdeen's been doing lately. I like the angle that you said, Anthony, about the wearing them down. We've obviously been wearing these teams down, at least in the last few weeks. But it's kind of weird that we are doing that because we don't play a lot of people anymore.
Yeah, but if you pay attention, them guys are like,
I know, but I'm just saying it's still.
It's almost like Houston. Houston,
we got to be like machines. Like, are they machines out there?
Well,
because we're
yes.
only playing in the second half. We're only playing.
They're alphas, dude. I mean, like as far as
7 guys
from an athletic standpoint, not from just pure basketball, but just from like watching Houston. Houston wears people down, dude, because they got these guys that are just long and athletic.
But do they wear you down with 7 guys, or do they wear you down with 10 guys?
Give me some of those long. I've never been that guy that could just go all day. I always had to pace myself in games. My son fights the same thing, and I always knew guys that could go all game long. And just from the outside, I always thought it was just such a huge advantage. Like, dude, I wish I could go like that all game long. I'd eat your ass. Mm-hmm. Like you couldn't play with me if I could go like that. But I would literally had to pace myself. Now I wasn't a world class athlete. But guys played just as much as me. I played more, and they just had more stamina than me from a genetic standpoint. But I remember pacing myself and thinking, I wish I could go up and down the court like that because I would be freaking awesome. Like my skill set's good, but my fatigue is real. Fatigue is a real thing, dude. It is. If you've never experienced it, you don't know. But when we had a boy on our basketball team, he had missed. He was a soccer player, really good shape. And but he had missed like a month or two of basketball. He had hurt his leg. But he was one of our players that could go all game long. He came back for our last game of the season, but he hadn't done that in like 2 months because he'd been injured. And he come back, and it was like he was having cardiac arrest. He said, I've never felt it before. I said, Bubba, that's what fatigue feels like right there. Fatigue's a bad dude, man. It is a bad dude, fatigue is.
Well, usually the teams that wear you down are those teams that are 8, 9, 10 players deep. I don't feel like you usually see teams wearing you down with 7 guys, but that's a good thing because, like you said, they're athletes, and I do agree. A lot of those guys, you can tell by just looking at them, they're in good shape, and if we can wear guys out with this roster that we've got right now, I'm good with it because we've got to figure out ways to win games, and that's what we're doing right now. And like I said, it's early February. It's getting close to mid-February now, but we're playing our best ball. And I don't even think we're just playing our best ball as a team. I think the majority of our guys individually are playing their best.
Yeah.
I mean, Chandler, his confidence right now is super high. Diabate, he doesn't even –
he just got to be out there, dude. He don't got to score a million points. He just got to be out there. He's
but
an
he knows
athlete.
his role, and we get a lot out of him without scoring.
Yeah.
Kind of the same with Garrison. Garrison, if he scores 8 points, it's going to be a great night. But you're still getting we're getting maybe the best production we've got out of Garrison in the last couple weeks.
I've seen Garrison.
He had 20 and 11 against Oklahoma.
I've seen Garrison score 0 and not have many stats at all. And I still think, like, when I watch it, we're a better team with him in the game. This is before he started putting up these numbers. I thought, I don't know why I think we're a better team with him in the game because his numbers suck. But, like, it just seems like we play better with him in the game. Is he the freaking muscle? I don't know what he is, but it's
just the attitude, maybe, just his presence.
I'll tell you a guy that I've not been big on this year. I'll be honest with you. I've not been impressed, but I kind of changed my opinion a little bit on him. And I'm a big Moreno guy, but I've not been a big Jasper Johnson guy.
Same.
Hey, Jasper Johnson did some stuff with the ball that I was like, whoa, you got that in there? Like, it's
he's got a bag.
Dude, he does. Like, if that dude works on his game, I didn't know he could do a couple of those things like that. So
he's just sometimes he gets a little too fast.
Oh, he believes in himself.
Yeah,
Me and Charlie's talking about that a lot. That boy, we were joking, if you gave Moreno Jasper Johnson's confidence,
he'd be shocked.
You'd have a mean player because Moreno has all the ability in the world, but don't seem like he believes in himself sometimes.
No, Moreno has no confidence, especially on the offensive end. I think he's got. I don't mean to say he doesn't have any confidence, but man, he needs to be more confident, and he still looks like he's playing in slow motion to me, but he's still doing all right. I do feel like we've had a weird stretch with Moreno. Played a little bit better this past week, but man, there's been a weird stretch of games and the way he's been playing, I feel like. So hopefully that picks up. But I do feel like a lot of our guys we're getting the best out of them right now. And as a team, I think we're getting about as good as we're going to get out of this team. Now, we can all hope that we don't fall down 15 points. But like I said on my TikTok Live the other night, can we just petition the NCAA to give them – we'll just give the opponents 10 points.
Yeah, just start down.
It'll give us like 8 extra minutes to try to come back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's part of the wearing down process, though. That's part of the wearing down process.
We'll still wear them down, but we'll have an extra 8. You know, we usually fall down about halfway through the first half, so that'll give us an extra 8 to 10 minutes to come back. I just say we petition the NCAA. Look, every game the rest of the season, put us down 10. If you don't want to make it 10, just make it like 8. Just give the other team an 8-point head start. I almost think this team likes to play from behind.
They get a little more sense of urgency, I guess.
I just don't think we get tired, and everybody else does.
I mean, we outscored Tennessee, who is definitely thicker than we are. We outscored them in the paint 44-24.
But we
got killed, but we got killed on the boards though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's us attacking the rim.
That don't even make any sense.
I think that's us, like the drivers. We have all those drivers, but I'll tell you,
usually, I don't feel like you usually ain't going to see that.
Though. I agree with that.
They like doubled our rebounds,
and it was obvious.
It was a lot.
It was obvious. I mean, they beat us to a lot of loose balls. In the first half,
dude, we could not get a loose ball.
We could not.
We could not get a 50-50 ball.
No, we couldn't.
And I did not feel like we were not hustling. I had some people text, "Oh, we're just not hustling." Dude, I felt like we were hustling. We just could not get a 50-50 ball.
No bounce was going on.
None.
I will say I agree with that. I thought I kind of felt like we weren't had a lot of. Sometimes though, I think it comes down to energy, and I thought, man, why ain't they going to the ball fast? But y'all saying on TV, I was at the game.
It's different being at the game because you were at the game and you're saying that. Travis and Denny were at the game. They were saying Kentucky sucks. And this is terrible basketball. I thought it was good basketball. I thought it was good. I thought Kentucky was playing good.
I thought Tennessee was on fire. I thought they were on fire.
They were on fire in the first half. They hit 8 threes. They only averaged 6 for the game.
I had my knees.
That's fire.
I joked with everybody that the people in front of me were wearing UT, and I got talking to the lady. It was Gillespie's mom, the thicker guard. It was good. Went off in the first half. That was his mom. Well, it's as we were sitting there. I mean, they were on fire, and I didn't sit there in the second half. I wanted to switch up the mojo, so I went down underneath there. My boys were sitting on the other side of the stadium because we had to buy separate tickets. The cheapest tickets were like 170, 180 a piece. Damn. So we had to buy separate tickets so I could afford to take them. We sit in the cheap seats, and I spent $500 for the night and had a set separate of the 2 guys I took. But anyhow,
they end up sitting right in front of Travis and Dave.
Yeah, I seen them because I walked them up. I had to go check on them, but I wanted to mix it up because I'm superstitious. So I went and watched some of it on the screen down by the concessions, and we start coming back. So I wouldn't move. I watched the whole second half. I didn't watch the second half outside. Didn't watch one bounce outside. I watched every bit of it underneath the screen. I promise you. And it worked.
And you paid $500
Yes,
for
it
that?
worked. It worked.
It worked.
It worked. Dude, I'm not messing with that shit, dude. That is like witchcraft.
You can't mess with
That
the
is
mojo.
witchcraft.
I do the same shit.
That
dude.
is witchcraft.
When we're not
dude.
playing good, I go in the other room or I'll switch seats or I'll stand up or something.
I was so happy,
I've
old
done it
guy,
all.
that I went. So we go to a lot of football games, but we don't go to a lot of basketball games. I took my son to one. He hadn't been to one. We always shoot for the football games, and we're football people. But I took him to the Indiana-Kentucky game. It was just me and him. But we got our little partner goes with the Levi. He grew up with us. My son, they're same age, family friend. But he goes to football games with us. But he couldn't go there. He was out of town for some racing stuff. But he got to go. And so Levi never been to one. And Rex just went to the Indiana game. So we went to it. Dude, if I even had to set my car, I was so like, look, it's one thing to spend that much money for a ticket. But it's another thing to get an awesome game, an awesome comeback. They got the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
We got there early, got to take pictures. Like I've paid stupid prices before and been blown out, guys. And been blown out.
That was a great game.
It was.
Great
And
game,
ticket
for
prices
sure.
never went down. I did our thing, Charlie, where I waited to the end. They never went down. So it's I actually got like the best deals at like 170, 180 a piece. Up in the cheap seats, no chair back. It was an expensive ticket. But the Gillespie's mom, she was there. I had my knees in her back. I literally could. And they were hot the first half. But in the back of my mind, I thought, he's a thicker boy. Mom and Dad's a little thick over there. I know that look. Seriously. I'm not saying edit that, Charlie, in case they ever listen to this. I liked his mom. She was nice. But
Make it a TikTok.
yeah, we no, don't do that. They were nice people, dude. She told me the story about him, how he started off at Belmont for 2 years.
Oh yeah,
And then,
Maryland.
he went to Maryland, and then went
Last
there. But then she said something weird. I got to look it up. She said, but I wish he could have just stayed at Auburn and everything been happy. I didn't even so where'd that I thought that's what she said. I'm going to look it up. So did he start off there in red shirt? Maybe. I don't know. But hey, he's a guy that built his way up, because from Belmont to Maryland to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And, some people think he's one of the better players in the SEC. I heard somebody say they thought he was going to get SEC Player of the Year or in competition for it. So,
Oweh.
Better watch 0-0, baby.
I love it.
0-0.
Every time you look down, he's got 20. Like, what Oweh do tonight? 22 and 6 and 3.
Love me some Oweh. He's climbing up my favorite players list.
Oh,
he's getting up there. Now he ain't in the top 10 or nothing, but he's climbing my list. I like Oweh a lot. All right, so 2-0. We didn't even talk about Oklahoma, but Wednesday game against Oklahoma, they were 11-11. We handled business. What we win by?
16, 94, 78.
Yeah, and look, we never really. I wouldn't say we blew them out, but the game was never in doubt.
No, I didn't
I
think
never
so
thought
either.
we were going to
No.
lose that game. I don't think even one time I thought we were going to lose that game. So handled business there, and then of course, like I said, pulled the brooms out on the Tennessee Vols, got them for the second time. I had a guy jump on the final score contest post at halftime. Tennessee up 14, and he was quick to tell me they were up 14, and this was time for revenge is what he tells me at halftime. I didn't say nothing until after the game. Then I said,
that's why you don't do it.
I didn't say nothing.
Yep.
And I got, but
you should have bet them right then. That's jinx, dude. That
what's
is witchcraft.
even more crazy though is I'm like, let me just click on this guy's profile. It's like a 60. I mean, I don't know how old he is, but he's like 15, 20 years older than us. You got to know. You're old enough to know. You don't say that at halftime. And you definitely don't say that when you're playing a team that has already done this like 5 or 6 times this year. Oh, yeah. And by the way, we did it to you guys like 2 weeks ago.
Did you tell him Chris Lofton wasn't walking through those
I
doors?
told him what I thought about.
We kept Mount Mamba this time, baby. You ain't getting our boy this time. Mount Mamba plays for the Cats.
So Kentucky owns Tennessee as always. Yeah, y'all got us last year in the Sweet 16. Whoop-de-doo. You still didn't make it to the Final Four, and our point guard got hurt the week, I don't know, a couple of days before. I think, didn't Butler get hurt right before that game sometime? So Tennessee, you're still losers. We still own you. It was great to get and then everybody, Tennessee's not that good. I don't care. I think they're decent.
They had actually done really good before that game. So we beat them, and after we beat them, They went on a little run after.
We're ruining their season right now. No, but I've seen multiple people say, "Oh, the Tennessee's not even that good." Look,
they were number 25.
I do think they're a decent team, and I don't care. Any win against Tennessee is a good win, and the Cats have won 8 and 9. I'm pumped, dude. I think what Pope is doing here is special, dude. I really do. I think what we're seeing is special, and I love this team. A month ago, I didn't love this team.
No.
I really do love this team.
I was calling them the unwatchables.
Look, I think it's nice. I don't think it's special because they spent a lot of money.
I know, but I'm talking about what Pope is doing with what we're watching. A month ago, I sat here and said,
yeah, but he should have had that done before then. But I like it. I mean,
he's only working with like $15 million of the 23.
That's still spending more money than anybody else. I'm with you, but that's still
he's got to readjust his expectations just like the fans do.
Right.
He thought he had something, and then once you see what you actually have, you got to readjust.
Oh, I agree. I love it. I do love it, and I'm enjoying it. But I guess I can't say it's special because, and I hate that I feel that way. I really do hate I feel that way. But that is the cloud over top of it for me is that. And
y'all think about the money. I literally never think about
I don't
money.
either.
I literally never think of this is Kentucky. We've got a team. We got a coach. I need you to coach the fucking team. I don't care about the fucking money. I don't.
That's fine. But if I give you that much of a bankroll, like it's in my mind. I'm sorry. It is. That's how much money I gave you to go to the auction. You know, and you.
All right, now he bought bought what he was getting at the auction. We've got it. You can't go back to the auction until next year.
And I think it's good. And I think it's really good. But for me to sit here and say it's special, I can't call it special when I gave you 20. Special if I gave you 20.
What is special is what Pope is doing with the group.
When I have double the payroll as everybody else, I expect to be in the top 5 at least. And that's at minimum.
What's special is what Pope is doing with this group that a month ago.
It's good.
That a month ago we were sitting here saying, we hope we make the tournament. We were saying, we don't have a backup point guard. We don't have anybody that can shoot the ball. We don't have an identity. We don't play the right guys at the right time. We've got Brandon Garrison that's not giving us nothing. We've got Aberdeen that's dribbling the ball. We've got all of these issues, and we were just hoping to maybe and I even said these words, salvage the season and get to the tournament. And I said, I need to see Pope. When me and you had this conversation about when I was worried. I thought you were going
off the edge
with
it.
I was worried. I was getting worried. I wasn't nowhere near where I never said Pope was not the guy. I said he might not be.
You were saying you were starting to worry about it, starting to question it.
Yeah, I did.
And I just said,
so you didn't.
I think you got to give him time.
You said you was worried.
I worry, but you got to give him time.
But my point is, at that point, I said, from this, what happens from this point to the end of the season, to me, it matters.
I know, but you were talking about that. There's a possibility that you think he should be fired at the end.
I just said no. I didn't. I said if we lost 13 in a row and we ended with 17 losses.
Well, I thought that's what we were arguing at that time. I was arguing that he's got to get one more year because he had a good year and a bad year, and I thought you were.
And I always said he should get a third year. I've always said that.
I thought you were kind of arguing that at that time that you're starting to wonder if he should get. Not saying you thought he was, or not saying he thought he shouldn't, but it was starting to cross your mind. That's what I thought it was.
I was.
Okay.
Let me finish.
I am.
Let me finish.
All right.
I've always been consistent with what I've said about Pope. I've said it. It's on the record a million times.
I'm talking about your conversation.
I was saying the same thing that I've always said.
We wouldn't argue for over an hour if it wasn't the case.
Let me talk.
I am.
I have said the same thing. I've said it on TikTok Live. I've said it on this podcast. And I'm sure I've said it on the phone with you a million times. I like Pope. I hope Pope works. I've always said this third thing. Listen, there's a chance that he might not be the guy. I'm still saying that right now.
Absolutely.
Even though I love what he's doing, I love Pope. I hope he's the guy, and I love what he did last year, and I love what he's doing with this team right now.
I agree with every
But
bit.
I still have this thought in the back of my mind that he might not be the guy for this job in the long run. I'm not saying by the end of this year.
I agree with that.
I'm not even saying by the end of the third. Maybe just by like a 5-year thing. We just say this just ain't working. I still think there's a chance of that. I've never, not one time, said he needs to be fired. I've never said that he should be fired after this year. I might have said to you that if we lost like every game, like we already had like 6 losses, I said if we go 0-13, we might have to have the conversation. I've worded it like that because, yeah, if we dropped 13 in a row and ended with 19 fucking losses, we'd have to have a conversation. But look, that's not happening. But look, my whole point with this was just, I don't think this is a special team, like per se. Like
it's fine.
Like,
it's
like
fine.
Oh, they're going to be remembered forever. Like they might.
It's always fun when you're down and out and you're able to come back.
It's special the fact that, yes, I've supported Pope, but yes, I was worried. Yeah, when we lost like the 6th game and we're still in before Christmas or whatever, I was, because we had 6 because Alabama was 7, right? No, we had 5. We had 5 because we lost to Alabama and then we lost to
Gonzaga beat us by 90.
So when we had 5 losses before Christmas and the way the losses happened, yes, I was worried. I was not panicking, but I just think that knowing that the roster was shit, we've been talking about it. We know. I don't want to say shit. It's just not a $22 million roster. It doesn't have stars. And then the injuries and all the losses and the way we were losing and the Pope's body language and the team not getting together, the rumors that were going on and everything that was going on, for us to be right here where we're at on 8 out of 9, we would have never said we were going to win 8 out of 9. We wouldn't even have said we were going to win 4 out of 5.
I agree with everything you're saying, and to me that makes it a good fun season. Like, and it's definitely fun when you're not good and then you get kind of good. That makes it fun. But I guess I can't go to that next level of calling it special because that is on the back of my mind about that amount that we spent. Like, and I wish it wasn't. I really wish it wasn't because I would love to just feel like this is a blue collar team that, this is, hey, we got it. We're working hard. We're getting there. But it is in the back of my mind when I know we doubled everybody else's payroll. Like, we should be this good. We should be better. But Troy, I'm honestly, dude, I love this team too. I'm enjoying every bit of the run. I think it makes it fun that we weren't no good and now we are, getting pretty good. I think it makes it a blast. Trust me, I wouldn't have spent that much money on tickets. I was excited to go to the game. And I'm with you 100%. Pope could not be the guy.
I think to me, it's more about Pope. I think it's more about shoving it in the people's face that was saying fire his ass.
Sure, absolutely.
The fact that he is taking this team that we all know the roster's not what it should be, and we are literally in a position to win the SEC. Yeah. We can win the SEC.
I love
this freaking crazy.
Hey, let me tell you something we can agree on is this, that I love to shove it in those people's face every fucking chance I get. Listen, that's the fans I don't like. And I've talked to y'all many times. I couldn't do what you do with some of those lives, dude, because there's a lot of Kentucky fans I don't like because they act like that. And I've been dealing with that on message boards for years. And there's a bunch of them that I love and I think are great fans. But it's the freaking idiots that I can't take them, dude. I can't take them. I can't take the negative bullshit. Get behind your team, support them. If it ain't working, we'll fire him. That's my outlook on it. That's not my job. That's the athletic director's job. But I don't have to sit around and cry about it all the time. Support your team.
It's a lot different from, saying somebody needs to be fired and saying there might be a thought in the back of my mind that it might not. Look, you can have your doubts, but just the people that are just dog them and, after 4 losses, even 5 losses, look, I was worried, but it's not time to panic. So I think to me, maybe I shouldn't have said special. But I do think what Pope is doing is special, like with what he's got. Look, you say 22 million. Josh, you made a good point. Quaintance, I don't know how much he got paid, but he ain't playing. Lowe, I don't know how much he got paid, but he ain't playing. Now Cam Williams, don't know how much he got paid, but he ain't playing. So we're not exactly playing with a $22 million roster.
And I think he made a good point after that. And he's the one that said it. But I think that even at that, I still think we might be higher than everybody
We
else.
might, we might.
Or close to it.
And we might. But we're playing good.
Hey,
We're playing good.
I know a lot of people think I'm nuts when I say this. I've said it to Barry. I've said it to a lot of my friends. It's nothing against those guys. It's whatever. You're hurt. You're hurt. I'm not getting into that. I don't want them back. And it's nothing against them. It's nothing. And maybe I'm wrong. And Pope will do what's right. But I don't want them back. I don't want to mess with what we got. I like what we got going on right now. I think we can make a run with this, and we keep getting better, keep working at it.
Who you talking about, Quaintance?
Either one.
Either one of who? Ain't none of the other ones.
Ken Williams could maybe come back.
But any of them. I just don't. I like what we got. I like what we got going on. I like what we got going on.
Cam Williams was playing when we were playing good, too.
I know, but I'm just – that's my selfish reasons. And I could be very wrong on that easily, but Quaintance could make us a better team. But I just –
I take him
I got
back.
you.
I
can respect
him back
it
right now.
I can respect it.
I love what we got going on, and there is always a chance of maybe, messing up the chemistry or whatever. But look, Quaintance has been there the whole time. Look, I don't even think we're going to see him, so it's not even worth talking about.
Yeah, I'm just pretending he's not going to be on the team.
I don't think he's coming back, but if he decided to come back,
you would like to see him back.
Yeah,
okay, I got you.
I'd take him.
I got you. I'll say no, but I could easily be wrong on that. But I guess I say that because I like what we got right now. I guess I like it, and I don't want to mess with it. I guess, but he could make us better. So
he's one of the best defenders out there. So I would take him, but I'm not holding my breath. I was trying to be positive about that situation when it all started.
There's nothing the matter with being positive, dude. That's what I want more of our fans to do. I know you were being positive when you said that, when you want him back. I know anybody in their right mind that follows a team probably had that, we know what's going on around college basketball right now. I'm not saying he's doing that on purpose or not, but they're definitely playing the edge of it. So to sit there and think that, you had to be being positive. But as a fan, you should be positive, dude. You should be positive. Going around negative all the time does not help nothing.
So I was wondering why we had an odd number of games. I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks. We counted them up. We had an odd number. Well, this week, no game during the week. We're off. And actually, probably pretty good timing. We got Florida coming up, and they're hot right now. I know you said they had 6 losses.
They got 6 losses, but they got some.
Yeah, but
they lost to Arizona, Duke.
But they're hot. But they
played Arizona
but they have
good.
been hot.
Yeah,
they did.
They lost to Duke by 1, and they lost to UConn by 4.
So the only teams they've lost to have been good.
They lost to Missouri.
They had one blowout. They got blowed out in the
game.
And
then who else? I just looked at it. They lost to Missouri.
Okay, let's run down their last games real quick. They just beat South Carolina by 1 million. They beat Auburn Auburn beat them.
Yeah, Auburn was their last loss.
They beat LSU
Auburn's got about 8 losses too.
They beat LSU by 20. They beat Vanderbilt by 4 at Vandy. They beat Oklahoma by a lot, 30 or 20-30. They beat Tennessee by 20-something.
Yeah, Florida, look, it's going to be a tough game as always.
They beat Georgia by 18.
They just, on February 1st, they beat Alabama by 23.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what Florida is. I know this because I've played them a few times, been keeping up with them. You're not going to out-rebound Florida. If you're going to beat Florida, you're not going to out-rebound them. I think if they get beat, they don't get out-rebounded.
No, we're probably in trouble then.
Yeah. But they get beaten games, though, even when games – I don't know if anybody's
on the rebounding.
Yeah.
We just got out-rebounded by almost double in the last game, so – but, we found a way to win that one. So we'll see. Look, Florida's tough. They're on a roll right now. It's at Florida. And we did beat them last year. I know they won the national championship, but they don't like to get beat by us. I'm sure they're going to be looking for a little bit of revenge. And I think there's some more. Did y'all know about what's their head coach's name?
He's a popular one. What's his name?
I can see his face. I can't.
Golden.
Golden.
Todd Golden.
Yeah.
So there's some beef between Golden and Pope.
Okay.
Really?
I believe there's a couple different angles. I think the Aberdeen thing.
Oh,
I think there was.
Yes.
I think the Aberdeen thing. I think there was some talking going on. Maybe social media. Maybe behind the scenes when all that was going on. I had somebody tell me. I can't remember exactly what they told me, but there is, I think, a couple different layers that makes some Pope and Golden beef.
I bet you with the transfer portal.
I think the Aberdeen thing is part of it for sure.
Yeah, that was one of them, but there was something else, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was 2 things that linked them together, and I guess I don't know if there's a beef or not, but
I bet you with the transfer portal thing, there's a lot of beefs because it used to be even if you transferred, maybe you couldn't transfer in conference.
Right.
I mean, there was all kinds of stuff. I seen a thing where Rick Pitino one day and Hurley's been having a little heated exchange, and Hurley just said, "Yeah, we're in the same conference. We're two of the better teams in the conference, and we're going after some of the same players."
I'm an asshole.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's so it's. I just think with the transfer portal, players can transfer in conference. It comes down to money. You're gonna get some feelings hurt. And you're going to get some dirty coaches, too, that do it. I think there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. I guess some people will say no. To me, what Ole Miss did was the wrong way to do it. There's a right way to do it. But are people going to follow the rules? That's the thing. Do you have some class about you? And I guess that's what some of the coaches would be like, okay, yes, you can do this, but you don't do it in the 11th hour. Or you don't do do you follow those rules? Do you want to be a coach with class and friends, or do you want to be the guy that don't give a damn and is willing to bend and break every rule there is? And that's the $1 million question.
I think there was I'm trying to think about the Aberdeen thing. There was, I'm lying here when I say this, but I thought maybe they thought UK contacted Florida before they even played in the national championship, or that Aberdeen was trying to use Kentucky to get more money from Florida.
Well, that's what
it didn't work out.
It had something to do with the money because I think I want to say that one of the things I heard was something about Todd Golden making a comment about how much Kentucky was going to pay Aberdeen or something like that.
We got the money, son. So y'all put money in the football.
I think it was basically like, we ain't paying, they can pay you that if you want.
We was writing a lot of big checks. We was writing a lot of I think the Mount Mamba got him $1 million.
Oh, he better not.
So
I hope he did. Everybody else got it. I mean, hell, we threw it around. Why can't Mount Mamba get $1 million?
I mean, Florida still got Boogie Flan. They got from Arkansas. That Calipari player.
I would love to, when this is all said and done, because I do think it'll change, because I think they're going to give some money to the football program, and I don't think a basketball team don't need that big a budget. They'll still have a top budget, but they just don't need double the budget. But when it's all said and done, we'll never know, but I would love to know the numbers. But I hope Mount Mamba got $1 million. I'm serious. I mean, we already wasted money. I hope we got $1 million. I like the kid.
The question is Aberdeen going to be ready to fight? We need him ready to fight.
Maybe
he's going to want to get a win.
Maybe that's part of the deal. Like, we pay you this money. We ain't been that good. But if we pay you this money, you better be ready to fight, son. Like, if we ain't no good at basketball,
I'd say this would be one where Aberdeen's going to be a little amped up. Because I'm sure he'll want that win. I mean, they won the national championship, and I would imagine, look, I don't know the kid, but I would imagine he probably wanted to stay at Florida. I mean, if they were going to give him the right money, I'm sure he would have stayed there. So there's probably, if they weren't willing to pay him, he's probably a little sour about it. So
he probably one of them deals where we paid him a whole lot.
I'm sure
he just couldn't turn it down.
No, I guarantee it. But he's probably got some feelings about Todd Golden and the Florida program. So hopefully he's amped up. Hopefully he gets his boys, Oweh, Garrison, Diabate, the Fab Four ready to fucking fight somebody.
Let me tell you what I really hate about last year for Aberdeen and Florida. I really think that Golden really favored Walter Clayton Jr., and I really think Aberdeen was a star of that team. And I really think that Walter Clayton got in the way of Aberdeen superstardom. I do, dude. I feel that way. I can't help it. It's if Walter Clayton wasn't in his way, it might have been Aberdeen, and it should have been. I think he favored Walter Clayton over Aberdeen.
Hell yeah, he did. He definitely favored.
He was good. He was good, dude. He was good as hell for a college player. Look, I think was nice. I think Cooper is an awesome. Cooper maybe just as good, but I'm telling you, for a college player, they don't make him much better than Walter Clayton. He's doing pretty solid in NBA. I don't think he's like murdering it, but I think he's having a pretty good year there.
All right, well, it would be nice to come back here next week and
1-0,
be 9 out of 10 in our last 10. That would be a really big win at Florida. The schedule, it's brutal the rest of the way. Back home next week against Georgia, and then on the road next Saturday.
Florida, if you want to watch Auburn. Florida and Georgia, our next two games.
I think Georgia's
they play tomorrow. They play Wednesday.
I think Georgia's
Tomorrow.
kind of not fell off, but I think they fell off a little bit.
Yeah, they have.
I think they have.
I feel like we got some win. Auburn, man, we're at Auburn, but they got like 8 losses.
I think we beat Georgia.
South Carolina, we're at South Carolina.
They're bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 road games right there that
we should win. Maybe not.
Those are winnable, dude. And we got Georgia at home. We got Vandy at home, and then we're at Texas A&M, and then back home against Florida. Dude, I know that's
a winnable schedule.
I know it's not an easy schedule, but that is a winnable schedule.
4-3.
Yeah, let's just do it real quick. I'll go ahead and say we drop the Florida game, come back, beat Georgia, go to Auburn, win that, go to South Carolina, win that. That's 3-1. Come home against Vandy. We're getting revenge in the Vandy game. We win that. Go to Texas A&M. We lose that one. So that's 2 losses. I'll say we beat Florida at home.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 losses.
I'll make
5-2.
Make a statement. I think the SEC was the strongest conference overall last year in basketball. I think most people agree with that. I hate to say that for this year, but I do think the SEC's having because I think they're going to have good basketball years because of money, and those schools care about they care about sports. We're up in like the Big Ten, you got a handful, but I think all the SEC teams are really investing. I do think it's a down year for the SEC. I think some teams that were supposed to be really good. Now, maybe Florida can live up to that, but we don't want them to. Maybe Kentucky can, but, we do want them to. But I think Alabama's not quite as good as maybe what I thought they were going to be.
I don't think so either.
And I thought they were really good. Texas had some good expectations this year. Never really lived up to it. And Florida really had some really high expectations early. But maybe they can get there, but hopefully they don't get there this week. And Tennessee's also
that point guard.
Tennessee's a little bit disappointing.
The point guard, the Florida guy, hadn't been as good as they thought. He was the Ivy League kid.
Yeah,
Xavier Lee, I think is his name. He came from Harvard or Stanford.
Walter Clayton ain't walking through the doors.
He got this little Asian.
Hey, that goes kind of what I've argued, that you're going to hit on some, you're going to miss on some. They hit on. Didn't Walter Clayton come from Belmont? Was he there with Gillespie?
I don't know.
No, he did come from Belmont.
Was him and Gillespie there together?
I don't know.
They had to. They said he was there 2 years.
I think I do want to say Walter Clayton came from Belmont. So what do you got in the last 7, Josh?
I said 4-3.
4-3?
Yep. I think we probably lose one we're not supposed to, but we're probably going to win 1 or 2. Maybe we're not supposed
Anthony, last 7.
5-2.
I like it. 5-2, baby.
Y'all got a scoring prediction for Saturday?
Yeah, score prediction. Saturday, well, I just said we were going to lose, but for my prediction, not going to happen. Cats get the win at Florida. I don't even.
If they get the win, watch out. That's all I'll say. I'm serious. That's a tough game. That's a tough game.
Shit.
That's a tough game.
Give me the Cats, 81-77.
I'm going Cats 68, Florida 63. We're going to grind it out, baby.
That's a grinder right there, boy.
77-76, Kentucky.
Nice. 1 point win.
Buzzer beater or something?
However we get it.
However we get it. Probably from fighting. Be ready to fight, boys. We need the Florida's
4
big. Ready to fight.
Florida's big.
I don't give a shit. I'll take our 4 against whoever.
Let's go. I like it.
I'll take them against whoever. The Fab 4. Oh, yeah. Everybody's talking about nicknames. Josh said they was calling them the unwatchables.
No, that was just my opinion.
Early in the year. Everybody's saying the comeback cats.
We got to come up with
I feel like I need to look into the comeback cats and see how much, like, were their comebacks better than these comebacks? Because we had some we might have to rename the comeback cats. I don't know, because these comebacks are nuts.
The Ethiopian cats.
The clawbacks? We're the clawback cats.
The clawback cats.
Ethiopian for me, son. They're the distance runners, so the Ethiopian cats.
There you go.
All right, guys. Hopefully we're back here next week after a big-time win against Florida. It'll be 9 out of 10. And like Anthony said, if it happens, watch out.
Seriously. I mean, yeah.
Hey, what do you call it? Special?
Maybe we'll get there. Maybe. I mean, at some point, it got to get special. At some point,
I feel like it's going to get special.
All right.
Pope's doing it, but what he's doing is special with this group. But I feel like maybe by the end of it, the whole thing might just be special, Anthony.
Yeah.
And something's happening, something's brewing. I feel it. Guys, appreciate y'all. You know the deal, guys. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter,
Yep.
Instagram, all of them, YouTube.
Find us.
Hit them up. Tell somebody about us. And we'll catch you next week. Blitz the Bookie.
See ya.
ya.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie's stats, he's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart, where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the Bookies, where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip-off to the final play, they grind. Mics on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Final play, they grind. Mics on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. Bond you'll find. Blitz the Bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums.